Hey, welcome back to the channel. See a bunch of utility knives on the table today. So, I don't think I've ever shown all of my utility knives. So, I thought I'd lay them out on the table. It's not really going to be like a history video, but just looking at a couple different kinds and brands. I have, a bunch of different companies represented here. What is a utility knife? What isn't? And does it really even matter whether you call it a utility knife? Not really, right? If you'd like to just look at my collection, I've got some really nice ones, some unique ones, some scarce ones, some rare ones. So I'd invite you to check out the video, and it should be a lot of fun. Hey, did you just get some icing? Hey, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. Hi to all my viewers. So, yeah, we're going to look at some cool knives here today. Let's see. Utility knife. I think most of us have a good understanding of that. But maybe somebody's watching a video that doesn't know, so we'll cover it real quick. Utility knives were on a equal end frame that's fairly large, robust frames. You can see there it's pretty thick. They're pretty rugged knives. The standard one has a can opener and a cap lifter, a spay blade, or I'm sorry, a spear point blade, and a toothpick. Not toothpick. What the heck am I thinking? This should be an interesting video. A punch, leather punch. That's kind of the standard, 3 5/8 inches long. Most came with the lanyard, not all of them. And that's pretty much what we think of as the standard utility knife. However, the utility knife belongs in a family of multi-blades, big family of knives. And that utility knife has been extended to knives that have more than 4 blades. Like the European model, which some American companies emulated, had 4 blades, same 4 blades on top, but they added the corkscrew and the punch on the bottom. So on the top, most often they'd add a pin blade, but sometimes other blades. So it was a 6-bladed model. And this, of course, is a Victorinox Spartan. That's what they call it now. But back in 1897, a knife very similar to this was put out by Victorinox. And that transferred over right around the 1900s. And some American companies made models like that. So it's important to remember that the utility knife doesn't just extend to this. If you're a collector, this is what you're thinking about. Utility Scout, Boy Scout knife. But again, from the very start, there were variations on that. So this is a Schrade Cutlery Company. Pretty cool banner shield here. Nice thin bone. Jigging on this, you can see it's 3 blades, but you've got your standard cap lifter and your standard can opener. This one has a clip blade, kind of unusual for one. And then the 4th blade was put on back, and that's a corkscrew. So kind of interesting variation, and that's what I was talking about. You get some different variations on this model. This is a really nice model here from, hold on. All right, I think I get this right. American Blade and Tool Company. I'll put it up there. It's Kellerman series here. Really nice series, and a really nice utility knife. This is a new one, of course. And there you have your spear point blade, and on the back you have the punch. So pretty much normal. Really nice wood here. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. I already showed the case. This is one, I believe this is a Shipley. And you can see it's after Shipley bought Simmons Company. So it has Keen Cutter cattle knives, all spelled with K's. I really, this is cut in there. I really need to just put some coloring in here. Every time I pick that knife up, I say I'm going to do it. But a nice little steer there. And actually, you know what? This is a cattle knife. What was I thinking? Anyhow, yeah, I shouldn't have included that. Okay, this one is a Schrade, Imperial Schrade. Shield's missing. This is a Heco in Mexico, made in Mexico. You don't see these often. This is a 4-bladed utility knife. Can opener, cap lifter, spear point blade, and you have your awl, and then on the back you have a corkscrew. So that's a 5-bladed model. These were really inexpensive knives, and mainly made for Mexican consumption, and you don't see very many of them in the States. All right, this is a Boy Scout knife. Same thing. This is kind of where the utility knife came from. So Boy Scouts of America approached New York Knife Company. They wanted a knife like this, and this is what New York Life provided them. And that's how we got Scout and utility knives in the United States. That was around 1909. Levin says these things were actually earlier, so maybe there were some of this idea was floating around before that. I've never really seen an American model you could date to like 1905. So I don't know where that really comes from, but yeah. Anyhow, nice little knife there. This is a Wolstinghome model. Probably matter of fact, I know it dates from the 1980s, from about 1985 to 1990. You've got 4 blades on top. One of them is a saw blade. I like that. I like a saw blade on my utility knives. And then on the back, it puts the awl, and you have a Phillips screwdriver and a corkscrew. So here's a 7-bladed model. Now, you might not consider that a utility knife. You might say, well, that's a Swiss Army knife. But, you know, this is not. This is based on an officer model, Victorinox. And let me show you one here. I think I've got it. Yeah, right here. So this is a Henkel's that dates pre-1924. I know that because it has a Mauser takedown tool. So that's not a screwdriver, it's not a scraper. It's to take the old Mausers down. They did away with these around 1924. By 1928, all the German models had the cap cap opener on them. And this is a 5-bladed model on top and 2 on the bottom, 7 blades. This exact knife is pictured in Levin's under the utility knife section. So Levin considers these utility knives. That's good enough for me. You see the old style can opener there. Okay, this is a military model. Came out around 1944, probably hit service 1945, and it went to stainless steel. So the military used models like this during the war. Towards the end and afterwards, they used the steel one. I was actually issued one of these in the Marine Corps, so this is what they use. A really nice little knife. They're kind of prone for the back springs to break, though. All right, this is a Colonial, very inexpensive. It's got the, you can see shell backs on here, just a plastic looking imitation stag. This thing's in pretty good shape. It works fine. You can see a half hawkbill there. This probably dates to 60s probably. This is interesting. So this was, I think, cut down. Pretty sure it was cut down to make a sheep's foot. Actually, that is straight. So I think this was a sheep foot from Colonial. So that's kind of interesting. Here's a really nice Western, very robust, like the case-like. Nice old bone here. This is a date between 1954 and 1970, I think, is the date on this. It has the old Western stamp right there, Old Colorado. But I think it also has, yeah, has the 901 model number on it. So anyhow, nice robust little one. This is a really interesting one here. I'm not going to show this. Yeah, this is another cattle knife. I'm not going to show it. All right, so here's one, Forest Master. It's another Colonial. See right there. Somebody, I don't know why somebody heated that up, but they were working maybe with plastic. Looks like a bunch of plastic on it. I haven't cleaned it up. This is a little smaller, not quite as robust. And this is a small utility knife. So let me show you next to the case here. You see how much smaller it is? So maybe half an inch smaller. And that's about as small as they got right there. This is the new millennium. This is from Spain, Spanish interpretation. Pretty big. So let me show you the case again. They tend to be the widest. Look how much wider that is. But you have 3 springs. And let me see if I can get this in. So the spear point blade locks. So that's a modern thing. If you got a blade on a utility knife, why not have a locking blade? And so this has a locking blade on it. It has the saw, and then your normal complement of cap lifter and can opener. And then on the back you have your awl, a corkscrew, and there's a package opener here, or hook. So you can put that in there, lift things up with it, tent poles, pull tent poles out, whatever. Aerator. This is just plastic. This is old Robertson. What's interesting about this is just a scraper, and so this was not broke off. I've seen new models of these, and it was just a screwdriver scraper. You see, it's got a file right there on it. So multiple use little tool on it. Has had a main blade, which look how that's about half that blade, maybe more. That's been worn down on it. Had a patented cap lifter can opener on one side. So this is a cap lifter. Had a little a blade that extended out here. You can see it's broke off. I actually have the tip of that blade, and I'm going to try to weld it back on there. but a little different type of knife here. And then you had your leather punch right there. Pretty bone. Pre-1940. This is, man, I keep forgetting who made this. This is the Burns brothers made this knife. It's a kind of a Spartan, right? Almost exactly like a Spartan. This was made for and sold to Mercedes owners. Really, really nice build on this knife. The old style can opener. I think this hails to the 1950s, I think is when I dated this. I'd have to double check. Nice one though. Here's Boy Scout knife. And again, you know, the Boy Scout knife was probably preceded all but the European model utility knives. And standard Boy Scout was the same as what we consider a utility, which was the can opener, screwdriver, cap lifter, spade blade. This thing is in fantastic condition. 1933 to 1935 is when this is dated. Pretty narrow time frame. You can still see this was frosted in here, and you can still see that frosting. See that? Pretty good shape. Look at that bone. Isn't that gorgeous? Had a milled back. Look at that. Milled back on it. Beautiful old Remington. Here's a Boker 6361, I think is the model number on this. And this is Delrin. Looks just like bone, doesn't it? That's your standard. It's pretty big. It's they probably used the Remington as a model. Pretty big utility knife. This is an old World War II Camillus, United States Army utility knife. No brass on here. Nice looking bone. Genuine bone. This is in good shape. I'll just show you the blade right there. This is an Imperial model. It has clam style can opener, and that is broken. And Imperials had really long screwdriver cap lifter on their models. It's one that way you can tell a Imperial from the other one. And also very simple kind of triangular punch on here that flared out on the top there. That's how you can tell an Imperial if they're not marked. Nice caramel color on that bone. This is a later, pretty sure this is an Ulster Camillus. So you see it's Camillus long line. The plastic has shrunk in here. Not in real great shape. I think I picked this up in a trade. I don't know. Here's another Boy Scout knife. And this is an Ulster. And finally, this is a new one. I didn't like this thing at first, but I like it a lot. So you have a really like rubbery type feeling, but not as sticky as rubber. It's grippy, right? And this is, I think this is a Spanish model. Swiss made, I'm sorry. Swizza is the company name. Really sharp looking knife. This blade locks, and to unlock it you push down on this the Swiss cross and it shuts. Has all your other normal implements. That's an all. All looks kind of weird too. It'll work though, to punch holes. And then you have your funky looking cap lifter or can opener, and then a cap lifter screwdriver, and on the back they put a corkscrew on it. So a bunch of different kinds, different varieties. That's what you get with utility knives. I think once you go over seven blades, you're getting into a different kind of knife than a utility knife, and that's kind of how I define them. You know, I think it's fine that some have blades on the back, but I think once you go over 7, you're getting into that multi-blade type of a Victorinox knife. And hope you enjoyed the view. I don't have a whole lot of them, but I thought you'd like to look at the different kinds. And thanks. I'll see you in the next video.